Steven Plays audience. Hey, how you doing? Steven here. Been a while since we did a channel update video. The last one was actually 2.5 years ago. And in that time, we've learned a lot. We've tried a lot of different things. We've collected a lot of data, and it's time to talk about that today. Now, first thing, if you've never seen that channel update video, it's actually still completely relevant. All of the information in that video still true today, so check it out if you want. It's in the description below. It talks about our channel, obviously, in 2022, but it also is a deep dive into YouTube and the algorithm and how some of that stuff works and affects channels like ours. So it's pretty interesting. As a reminder, we had a YouTube partner manager a few years back, and it was actually really cool. You're only supposed to have them for 6 months, but at the end of the 6 months, she voluntarily offered her time and gave us another 6 months, so we had it for a year. In that time, we learned a lot of interesting things, but one of the first things that she told me was, I see that you do variety gaming content. We're not really seeing that work on the platform. Have you considered doing like a specific game or like a genre? And I was thinking, no, I do variety games, dang it. But it did tell me something. It told me that internally, in YouTube, this is not something that works. I had been seeing for a while the decline of the Let's Play. And now, in 2024, it's just more evident than ever. In fact, we spent a lot of this year searching for channels that were succeeding at this. And they're not there. I mean, there are folks that are big enough to continue doing it. That's true. But as far as like regularly growing, no. The format has been decimated by some of the changes that YouTube made to the algorithm 5 to 7 years ago, and we've been slowly seeing the decline. You can test this with any channel. You can actually look at the stuff that they've made, their view counts in the last year, compare that, their same view counts to 3, 5, 7 years ago. They're not the same as they've been. And again, if you're a bigger channel, you can keep weathering this. And that's great, honestly. Like, I want people to be able to continue to do what they do and love. But if you're a smaller channel, like ours, it's not so easy. And I saw the writing on the wall 2.5 years ago, and we started to experiment and do some of the things that the partner manager suggested. But now that it's been 2.5 years, we're to the point where we need to continue to experiment. That needs to happen. And there is an element to all of this that I have never talked about because it's like a pretty vulnerable thing to talk about, but I need to mention it because I think that folks don't understand exactly how bad it is. Every once in a while I'll hear from folks and they'll be like, you know, the reason that your view counts are low is you're bringing stuff over from Twitch to YouTube. If you just made YouTube exclusive content, it would do better. And like, you're not wrong, YouTube exclusive content would do better, but even adding the viewership on YouTube plus Steven VOD plus Twitch, it still doesn't make it like it used to be. Like, everything is still on the decline. And the issue that we've been having for over 2 years, maybe even 3 at this point, is that every new video that we produce, like a majority, like definitely over 90%, we produce at a loss. And that might be a bombshell revelation for you, but that is the truth. Dan is paid very well for his time because he deserves to be paid well for his time. And when we produce something, the money that is made in ad revenue on a video almost always does not match what we have paid Dan. Which means that yes, for over 2 years, almost everything that we've put out onto this channel is produced at a loss. And like, that's bad. That's really bad. And it hurts to talk about because like, it's, you know, it's not how things should be. And fortunately, we have, you know, a cushion in the form of Patreon, and we have a cushion in the form of the back catalog of Steven Plays. Because one benefit of making, God, thousands of videos over the years is that there's a lot of stuff back there. So people are still organically finding memorable moments or re-watching old series like Twilight Princess or Tulip or whatever. And it's not that those individual videos or views make very much, but when you've got a lot of them, it has been enough to keep the channel afloat financially. Like, even though all of the current stuff is produced at a loss and we lose money, there's still enough revenue being generated on old stuff to say, okay, well, it's still kind of profitable. But the problem is, over the last 2 years, we're watching those numbers get closer and closer, and I'm like, that's bad. So yeah, it's a really dreadful feeling to think, if we wouldn't have released anything on Stephen Plays in the last 2 years, we would have done better. That's a bad feeling. And that's not like inherently true, because to an extent, the videos are an advertisement for other videos. They're advertisements for vlogs or even the streams. And we have just seen that this format is in decline. And it sucks, because this is something that I love to do. Now, I am very fortunate and grateful that live streaming exists. I know not everyone agrees that it's the natural evolution, but a lot of people feel that natural evolution of Let's Play is live streaming. It's not a one-to-one thing, but there's a lot of common elements, and I'm so grateful we get to continue to do playthroughs. That is not changing. Mao and I are still playing video games. It's happening on Twitch. They're getting posted on Steven VOD. We got chapters over there. We got the whole 9 yards to make it feel as much of a traditional experience as possible. We're also doing fun stuff on Twitch. But when it comes to YouTube, when it comes to Steven Plays, it's apparent that we need to continue to experiment. So that's what we're going to do. In the coming days and weeks and months, there will be different types of content on the channel. You're going to see different things. In the short term, we've got a few things we're going to try, but in the long term, we've got wild ideas. When I was meeting with the team and we were talking about the channel, Steven Plays is games. I mean, usually video games, although we've covered board games and miniature golf in the past, but it's games. That's the base. Everything that builds off of that is related to that. It doesn't have to be playthroughs through games. It can be anything related to games. So we're starting to think about that. I've got some interesting content that I'd like to make in the next few weeks and months, and I'm excited to try things. Now, the biggest departure from all of this is going to be the loss of daily content, and that is something that is hard to do. When we met with the partner manager years ago, she had us cut our content in half. We were releasing like 15 videos or more a week. She's like, that is killing your channel because of how YouTube works. If you want to learn more about how YouTube works, that deep dive video is definitely for you. And we realized that even today, we're still releasing too much stuff. So we are reducing what we are making in order to try and make the stuff that we do make, for one, more polished, and then more accessible to more folks. So more folks will be interested in seeing it. And we have to do that. We really don't have a choice anymore. We've been pushed up against the wall, and we have to start changing things a little more drastically. There's definitely a part of me that mourns the loss of this format and the achievement of doing a daily channel for so long. We have been releasing daily content on Steven Plays since its inception in early 2011. 13 and a half years we've done daily content, and to suddenly change that is hard. But I'm also really excited because this gives us a chance to step out of our comfort zone and try things that we've literally never tried before. So in the short term, you might see some stuff that's a little familiar, and then as time goes on, you might see some very different stuff, and that's cool. So I hope that you can be excited with me. Don't get me wrong. This brings about a lot of emotions about anger that the algorithm changed and difficulties related to that. But I'm also trying to stay positive and focused and think about what the new opportunities could bring and new formats that we haven't even imagined yet. And I'm excited about that. But as I leave you on this note, I want to ask you to help me with two different questions in the comments. First question, what gaming content do you watch here on YouTube? And I mean actively, presently watch, not stuff you watched 5 years ago. I mean, what do you watch today? You, as an individual. What do you seek out gaming related on the platform and voluntarily watch? Or if something finds its way into your feed, you watch it because you're interested. That's question 1. Question 2 is, what would you like to see us try? Because sky's the limit. Is there a particular format that you're like, man, you guys have never done this? Why not try this? This is different. This is weird. Go for it. I'm all ears. This channel has had a long history. I have been immensely proud of the job that we have done, keeping the channel daily and continuing to do what we do. I am not particularly thrilled that things have been forced to change, but I hope that you'll understand why we are forced to change. The writing's been on the wall for a long time, and at least for us, in our situation, in our channel size, our time is up. It is time to try some new stuff, and we're gonna see how it goes. Thank you so much for watching, and I sincerely hope that you will stay tuned and get excited about whatever is coming in the future.